Hello and welcome to another rendition of Math is Easy Step by Step. Here, this is part 5 of one-step equations, solving one-step equations, which means, hey, we want to get this x all by itself on one side of the equal sign or the other. And since it's on the left side, I'm just going to leave it here on the left side, but it's attached, as you can see, to this radical or square root. So I want to get rid of that radical so x is by itself. I need to do what's called the inverse operation. I'll take the inverse operation of a square root, which is the square. I'm going to square both sides using exponential function to both sides of the equal sign. Right, so let's go ahead and get started. Square root of x equals 12. What's that first step? I want to square both sides of the equal sign. I want to take this term to the power of 2. What I do on the left side, I have to do to the right side of the equation. What I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side of the equation. And so here we're just going to simplify further. And I'm going to show. And as a reminder, anything to the power of 2 is itself times itself twice. So on the right side of the equal sign, I'll have 12 times 12. On the left side of the equal sign, I'll have a square root of x times the square root of x, as you can see here. Each step, I'm just simplifying a little bit further till we get that x all by itself. So I'm showing you the invisible ones, right? There's an invisible one in front of that x. There's an invisible one in the exponential power. There's also an invisible 1 in front of this x here and a 1 in the exponent's place. And then on the right side, again, 12 squared is 12 times 12. I'm taking this step by step. Just want to simplify each time moving through here. So I'm multiplying these two terms, and there is an invisible 1 in front of that radical. And 1 times 1 is 1. And you could place that x times x on the inside of that radical. And here I'm showing you those invisible ones. The rule is when you multiply 1 times 1, you get 1x. You add the exponents when you multiply. That's the rule. So I get x squared, 1x squared. It's still under that radical, though. I got to free that x underneath the radical. And of course, 12 times 12 is 144. So I could have shown you and solved the problem here, but I don't like skipping steps. So I'm just showing you step by step what we're going to do. We have x to the second power. That x is still attached to the radical 2. It's also still attached to the square root. So let's go ahead and see if we can simplify it further. I know we can. And let's go ahead and take a look here. Now, I need a perfect pair. And remember, I have x to the second power, which is x times x. So I can simplify further. I need a perfect pair inside the radical just to pull out one value. And like I said earlier, there's an invisible 1 in front of this square root. Well, whatever term I pull out, I'm going to multiply times the value in front of this square root or radical. Sometimes it's invisible 1, sometimes it's a 2, sometimes it's an x, sometimes it's a y, but whatever is in front of that radical, I have to take that term, the term that I take out of the radical, I have to multiply. Here it's an invisible 1. Again, perfect pair, I can pull one value out. X times 1 is right here. I'm showing you here. And of course, the 144, I'm just carrying that along with the equal sign. Now there's nothing inside the radical. That radical disappears. X times 1 is 1x. And you can see here, x equals 144, right? Up here, x times 1 is that invisible 1x equals 144. Of course, you want to check your answer. So you want to substitute the 144 where you found that x value, and I'll take a moment to show you now the original problem that you see here. Square root of x equals 12, right? That was the original problem here. So since x equals 144, I can show you square root of 144 equals 12. Now let's simplify. I know that 144 is a perfect square. I'm going to show that here in these remaining steps. 144 is 12 times 12. I got a perfect pair. I can pull that 12 out. 12 times 1 is 12. The radical disappears. 12 equals 12. That is a true statement. X has got to equal 144. So this is, I strongly suggest you check your answer. This is how you do it. Again, this is part number 5 of one-step equations. Hopefully this has been helpful. Thank you for joining me. Hey, math is easy. Take it step by step.